With over a decade of high school athletics coverage around the state of Michigan, State Champs has a vast archive of the best sports moments, athletes, and coaches. We're here to bring all of the greatest championship games and highlight some individuals who went above and beyond in the year 2008 for this special edition of State Champs Yearbook. Welcome inside the State Champs studios, everybody. I'm your host, Daniela Bruce. 2008 was quite a year from newly crowned champions to record-breaking win streaks. In this episode of the Yearbook, we are going to reminisce on the best male and female state championship games, athletes, and coaches from 2008. To kick off the show, we're going to let the ladies shine first in the top 5 most exciting female state championship games. Let's get to it.
Play to win. Patient on the block, reach on the hit. All right.
For the first time since 2003, we had back-to-back years of the same two teams fighting for the Class A state championship. We begin in Game 1. The defending champ Jennison in the far court. Junior Leah Poole setting up Leah Klooster for the kill. But this first game was a seesaw affair. Marion's Miss Volleyball finalist, senior Abby Lovell, finding fellow senior Natalie Seman. Game knotted at 27. Then, Lovell trying to do the same for Alexandra Coughlin, but on the other side, Poole with the rejection. The Mean Green Wildcats won the first, 29-27.
Here we go, Mustangs! Here we go! Here we go, Mustangs! Here we go!
The 65-win third-ranked Mustangs also down to start Game 2, attempting a comeback. The Northern Michigan recruit Lovell, who notched 35 assists, this one to her sophomore sis, Alex, with authority.
Let's go, Jennison! Let's go, Jennison!
But Jennison would begin to reward the faithful, the Miss Volleyball runner-up and Duke-bound Megan Hendrickson like a sledgehammer. Then, it's the junior Elizabeth Vaughn with one of her 10 kills, and Jennison led 2 games to none. The Wildcats jumped down in front to start Game 3. Poole using her left to slam it to the floor. But the Mustangs trying to hang in late via that stinging sibling symmetry. Abby to Alex, dropping it down. The sophomore laid 13 to rest. But Jennison's Poole had a game-high 39 assists. The last one here to Hendrickson. Jennison takes the state title in 3 games, becoming the first Class A team to win back-to-back crowns since Frazier in 2004.
It's really cool. Like, not many teams do 1 and to do 2. It's unreal. It doesn't even feel real right now. It feels awesome. It's a dream come true. Ever since I was little, I wanted to win a state championship, and now that we got 2, it's just incredible.
Over the past 19 years, Detroit Country Day with 11 finals appearances. Detroit Community, undefeated at 25-0, just 1 loss in 2 years. Country Day has beaten teams by an average of 32 points this season. Big reason why? Their big inside presence of the 6'6" skyscraper sophomore Madison Williams. 6 points, 8 boards, and 8 blocks on the game for Madison. DCD led by 4 after the first.
Now, if you go out and you just play hard, don't put no pressure on yourself and have fun, you're going to be making no mistakes.
After guiding DePorres to a Class C title in 2004, Riley has led Community to their first finals game in just his 2nd year at the helm. Fantastic freshman Crystal Bradford penetrates the paint for the hoop and the harm. But Country Day didn't lose to a team in the state of Michigan this year. Laid second, Sharina Taylor to Troy Hambrick, who heaves and hits. Country Day was up 19-11 at the half. The Jackets forced Community into a half-court contest. Taylor in trouble, but able to find Amber Moore, who stops and pops from up top. 10 on the game for the junior. Country Day led by 7 going into the fourth. But the Hurricanes remain patient. Averaging 16 points a game, Nia Jordan turns and tracks the rack, but finished with just 8. Then, Bradford, a 61% shooter this season, not afraid to deal from long distance. Game-high 18 for Crystal to complement 5 rebounds and 5 steals. But Country Day just cool and calculating. Spencer Lane puts it on the floor, Taylor going glass. State record 9th state championship for Country Day. Final score 46-40. Division II, where Sacred Heart was looking to send their seniors out 4-time state champions.
1, 2, 3,
The Hurdle, a fired-up Flint Powers team. The Chargers looking to avenge a title loss to these Gazelles 2 years ago. Both teams met 3 times this season, and it had been a Sacred Heart sweep. Powers down 1-0 until Marcella Olds gets behind the defenders, and we were locked at 1. The Chargers, state champs in 2002, down 1 again. Allison Fritz steals the ball, heads for the net. And now we're tied at 3. 15-5-1, the reigning Catholic League champ Sacred Heart would answer. Freshman Catherine Meswa finds junior Rachel Statler out front. She buries the ball for one of her 3 goals in the game. And we were tied at 5 at the break.
Dig deep. You're gonna kill it. Dig deep. Tim, you're killing it. Gotta come from right down deep in your belly.
In the second half, the 4-time defending champs played like it. Catherine's sister, Captain Elena Meswa, delivered all game. From behind the net, she's gonna sneak in front and finish. Sacred Heart climbed out to a 4-goal lead. The Gazelles led 10-7 with 9 minutes left, but the Chargers kept coming. Trailing just 1 with 90 seconds left, Shelly Rubel completes the comeback. Knotted at 10, this would be decided by overtime. Not a sudden death situation. Down 1, the Gazelles' Elena Meswa bounces in her 5th of the game. Gazelles pull even at 11. But with just 22 ticks left, Rubel finds Jamie Brady, who slams home her 2nd goal of the extra session. That is your game winner. Sacred Heart's stranglehold of the state title is history. Flint Powers wins a thriller, 12-11.
Be there for each other. Don't stop working. 80 minutes. Let's play hard. Let's go.
Madison Heights Bishop Foley, 11 state titles, the most of any team in girls soccer history, going for their first D4 crown and taking on the defending champ, Kalamazoo Christian. Both teams had allowed just a single goal throughout the playoffs. About 10 minutes in, KZoo senior Rachel the Hardy sending it upstairs, Comets up 1-0. Here it looked like sophomore first-team All-Stater Kyla Cross might get number 20 on the year, but Mandy Engbers gets a hand on it. Foley down 1 at the half.
We need to pick it up. First 10 minutes, leave a goal. Okay, pressure. Get it to the corner right now. Okay, we're not losing this game. Let's go. Bring it up. Don't go in so on.
The Ventures pressed throughout the second stanza, and midway through, Rachel Goddard's header off the crossbar. The Comets kept the door shut. 1-0 your final as KZoo Christian wins their 4th state title in 6 years.
Again, right? You know how we treat every game, right? We've been playing this championship game since the first game of the year, right?
To Division I, where Garden City hoped to end a 58-year drought and walk away state champions over Alpena. Manning the circle again for Garden City, 27-game winner Hallie Minch. Rachel Price called strike 3. Both teams hitless through 3. But in the 4th, the 34-5 Wildcats scratched in a run. Runner on second and 2 outs. Rachel Brown drops a Texas leaguer into right. Leah Cox comes around to score. 1-0 Alpena. And it could have been more in the 5th. Wildcats threatening, but the Cougars get out of a jam when freshman catcher Carly Shatterow ends the inning by throwing out Price trying to steal 3rd. In the 6th, Garden City went small ball. Christina Seward in scoring position after stealing 2nd. Minch at the plate and the check swing in play. Hustling to first, she beats the throw. Seward never hesitated. She will score. and the excitement built as it was tied at 1 heading into extra innings. To the bottom of the 9th we go, and the Wildcats could end it right here. Katie Prevost sends a sinking liner to second, but Trisha York makes a game-saving grab, and it was deadlocked into the 13th. After a Caitlin Shatterow single, the Cougars' Brianna King trying to sack her over, King out at first, and Caitlin caught leaning off second, inning-ending double play. Bottom 13, and Minch still money. Elisa Smith chasing the high hard one. Hallie had 17 Ks. To the top of the 14th, and the Cougars' Katie Torek standing on second. Minch another chance to help the cause. The soft liner just over the head of Rachel Brown. Torek coming around, and the Cougars had a chance to lock it up, leading 2-1. But the Cats would load the bases with 2 outs for Nicole Price. Infield fly ball, and Seward is there to make the catch as Garden City wins their first state crown in school history, 2-1 the final. It's hard to believe that this game is actually over, but what are you feeling right now?
I want to go to practice tomorrow. I'm so excited. It's a goal since the beginning of the year, so we did it and it's over with, and hopefully next year we're going to do it again. Stay champs! 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 Stay champs!
No doubt the ladies showed up and showed out in those season finale battles, but let's change the pace a little bit. 2008 had many incredible athletes accomplish great feats, but 2 in particular stood out above the rest. A multi-sport athlete from Oakland Christian and one of the most dominant volleyball players we've seen on the court from North Branch highlight our top male and female athlete from 08.
It's not often an athlete is faced with 2 state finals on the same day, but that's exactly the conundrum Oakland Christian's Mitchell Dale had to deal with. Cross country in Brooklyn at 10 a.m., soccer in Troy at noon.
2 weeks before states, I'm kind of like, okay, we kind of need a plan here and stuff. So I was talking with Mr. Melbourne, he's like, oh, I have a guy who can get a plane for you. So I'm like, okay. It's kind of like, oh, you must be joking or something. But it's like, no, I'm serious.
There wasn't any other way. There's no way you could get a car there. It was either an airplane or a helicopter. I mean, unless you can beam me up, Scotty, that's all you're going to do.
The AD phoned a friend, and following an all-state run at MIS, Mitchell headed for the Jackson County Airport. And at this point, he was feeling pretty good.
It's going to be turf, so it's going to be a fast-paced game, so hopefully my legs will survive, and I'll just sleep for 10 hours when I get home.
When I was young, I threw up in a little plane. I didn't tell my pilot that, of course, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, actually. Really small, but a ton of fun.
Mitchell was in the air, but unfortunately, just a little behind schedule.
As it got to 11:45, we're looking, where's Mitchell at? He's our starting forward. State final. We really need him.
Although late, he made it and was pumped.
Hey, I'm at a state final soccer game. I already did my cross country. It's just this and this all I want. So I was just really hyped up, a lot of adrenaline going.
The Lancers won their first soccer state title in school history.
Emotions cannot explain. It's just so great. So blessed in both sports. I'm just so happy to be at both. I'm really happy to have it work too. I was kind of skeptical if I could make it to both, but I'm so glad I made it.
The question now is, what happens next year?
He's got the capability. He hasn't shown any difficulty in pulling it off. So I'd say let's do it if we have to.
Life is good. Till next year.
Well, he pulled it off. 2 state finals in one day. The icing, the soccer state championship. Mitchell Dale, the Wendy's Student Athlete of the Week. On Monday, North Branch senior Olivia Kohler signing her letter of intent to Grand Valley State. But our recent Student Athlete of the Week soon had 2 reasons to celebrate. In the closest vote in its 7-year history, Kohler was named 2008's Miss Volleyball. Olivia edged out Jennison's Megan Hendrickson by a mere 9 votes, becoming the 4th Miss Volleyball from the east side of the state.
It's exciting. I'm proud to be Miss Volleyball, and I'm just thankful for everything that got me here. thankful for how lucky I have been to have such a good team through all the years, and I'm just happy for everything.
Very proud. I mean, it's just a great honor for her individually, but our school, our team, community. I mean, just a tremendous award, and you know, we're happy to share in, you know, her accomplishment there.
Congrats, Olivia Kohler.
It's not every day you get to witness athletes like that, and our team has had the privilege of helping many gifted students tell their stories. However, there is no I in team when it comes to winning state titles. It's a full group effort and the support of a program that gets you to the big stage. Let's get back to some of the greatest state final games with the top 5 male championships from the year 2008.
Country Day, coming in unranked and looking to right what went wrong in last year's title tilt. The Maroons, in just their 6 years of program, undefeated and ranked second in the state. But on the opening drive in just the second play from scrimmage, Yellow Jacket sophomore QB Josh Harris going for it all. A perfect strike to his big brother Allen in the end zone. Country Day up a quick 6 just 18 seconds in. But Holland Christian is led by their senior Superman A.J. Westendorp. 61 touchdowns. Here, over the middle and connecting with Nick Keycover for the 25-yard score. Holland Christian took a 7-6 lead. Still in the first quarter, the Maroons facing second and goal on the 10. Westendorp to Matt Hochhalter, who helicopters into the end zone. Their lead grows to 8 at 14-6. But Country Day senior O'Neal Swanson has been on a tear, over 1,400 yards, and on 4th and 1, powering his way in. The Jackets climb to within 2. Helped by 2 first-half turnovers and a goal line stand from the DCD defense, the offense went back to work. Deep in Maroon territory, Swanson gets the call again, and Country Day took a 20-14 lead into the locker room.
Play everything you got. We'll mix them up. We'll start it going. Let's go. Get it in. Our win. 24 minutes. Let's go. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Coach McLean hoping his Jackets can contain the Maroons. They couldn't. Westendorp slinging it to his junior wideout Jordan Mast, who stumbles into the end zone. Just like that, Maroons back on top 21-20. Still in the third, and Holland Christian's special teams stepped it up. Mark Timmerman with the pivotal punt block, and the Maroons recover at the Country Day 16. The very next play, Westendorp scrambling and makes something out of nothing, finding the coach's kid, sophomore receiver Willie Sneed, keeping his feet in for the 16-yard TD. The Maroons opened up a 28-20 advantage. Westendorp multiple finals records now belong to him. 26 completions, 318 yards passing, 426 yards from scrimmage. But Country Day doing their best to mount a comeback. Harris chucks one up and Sneed proves he's got game on both sides of the ball. Big INT. Maroons hang on to the momentum. Then, sophomore tailback Jeff Vroom busts this 2-yard score to make it 35-20, and the Holland Christian fan base can taste victory. And that would be your final, 35-20, Holland Christian, their first state championship.
It's so much hard work paying off, and you know, you couldn't have wanted a better way. Having a little comeback, having such a big following, this crowd out here, you know, they've been following us the whole playoffs long. Such an inspiration for us, so it feels awesome.
Right here, breakfast of champions right here. Breakfast of champions today. Breakfast of champions. Let's get this done. Let's go. How you feel, man?
I feel good, man. I'm with my brothers right now, man. We about to win. About to win the championship. Hey, we just go out to Coach Shahi. I had a dream about this. It's a guarantee.
The PSL's Detroit City Bears in the state finals for the first time in 8 years. Taking on Muskegon's Western Michigan Christian, a rematch of the 1999 and 2000 title game in which both teams earned a championship. This, the grudge match. City 21-4 on the year. First quarter, senior guard Ray Hill with the dribble drive gets it to Hakeem Whitehead, who hits off the window. The Bears jumped out to an early 10-point lead.
Let's go, Warriors! Let's go! Let's go, Warriors! Let's go!
Western Michigan Christian took out the defending champ Cedarville by 12 in the semifinal game. And near the end of the first, Nate Brunsma the steal and the throwdown. The Warriors were down just one after the first. The Bears got here by beating Lawrence in the semis, in which Hill poured in 15 points. He had 4 triples in this game, and City maintained their 1-point advantage, leading 27-26 into halftime. Early in the third, the Bears were continuing to bring it. Whitehead capitalizing from the corner. 10 on the game for the senior. But the Warriors would not wilt. Ben Visser to Charlie Van Rees, who hits the hook. He led Western Christian with 16, and they were within 4 going into the fourth. The Warriors scored nearly half their points via the turnover. Eric Prince, who had 4 steals, including this one, finished with 15 points. Late in the game, it was 54-52 Bears. But City would answer. Hill, with no hesitation, he led all scorers with 23 points. And despite hitting just 20 of their 58 shots, the Warriors forced 11 fourth-quarter turnovers, and that would be the difference. Prinz with the pick, Brunsma sends it home. Western Michigan Christian wins their 7th title in school history, 58-57. And kudos to Detroit City for an outstanding season, district and regional champions, state runners-up. One hockey final, Orchard Lake St. Mary's going for their 3rd state crown in 4 years, taking on Marquette, hoping to avenge last year's loss to the Eaglets in the finale. Little did we know this one would go down in the record books. We pick it up in the second. Marquette, the 2004 state champs, on the power play. Following a mad scramble to stuff it in, Mike Peterson is there to take out the trash. Redmond up 1-0 after 2.
Here we go, Eaglets! Here we go!
It would stay that way until the final minute. The Eaglets pulling their goalie in favor of the extra attacker. It's now or never. Right off the faceoff, junior forward Billy Ballett sends the puck on net, and senior Tim Hooker pounces on the rebound and knot the game at 1. This would go to overtime. But how many overtimes would it take? The question. After a scoreless first OT, Redmond with a chance. John Aho the steal, setting up Brandon Smaby, but stoned by Morley Stockton. A 3rd overtime was needed.
Let's go, Redmond! Let's go!
With less than 30 ticks left in the 3rd OT, Morley Stockton again robs the Redmond. Peterson stopped, Aho trying to will it into the net, but we remain deadlocked. In the 4th overtime, OLSM with the man advantage, Hooker trying the one-timer, but Redmond goalie John Nezich with a great save. To the 5th OT we go. It almost ended right here. Marquette's Eric Rizzio on the breakaway, but Morley Stockton must be made of mortar and brick. 58 saves on the game, a new state finals record. Eaglets had a great chance to finish it in the 7th. A sudden burst by Ballot, but his wrister is denied by Nezich. An 8th overtime was in order. But again, after no score, and for the sake of the athletes' health, it was deemed a draw, and Marquette and Orchard Lake St. Mary's were named co-champions. This was the longest game in U.S. high school hockey history.
Feels weird, but
feels pretty good.
Nah, man, it was a long night
since
for
I get
us.
to share with my boy Krepsky right here.
My boy Nettle from Marquette.
You are ready for this, boys. You have been prepared all season and all 4 years for this. Let's go get the job done.
Livonia Stevenson gunning for their 7th state title in school history and 1st in 12 years. East Kentwood looking for back-to-back rings. In the first half, Falcon midfielder Matthew Vandermeer sends a perfect outlet to Nerman Cernkick. Nothing but daylight. His shot sails through the uprights. Game was scoreless at the half.
Let's go, Stevenson! Let's go, Stevenson!
The Spartan faithful trying to rally their troops, and in the second half, Nate Sergison, who had the game winner in the semis, trying to feed off that energy. From 35 feet out, this blast just off the post. Livonia Stevenson with momentum, and late in the game, Michigan-bound Brian Klemsak with 4 defenders in his face. The shot, but Dream Team keeper Mike Swears sends it wide. Just 5 goals in 27 games allowed by Swears this season. We were headed to overtime.
We're back to be state champions!
Late in sudden death, East Kentwood with the throw-in, and senior defender turned attacker Bung Jin Lee in perfect position to head it home. Ball game. The first sweet repeat in Division I since Class A's De La Salle did it in the early 90s. East Kentwood prevails, 1-0 your final. Definitely something to sing about.
What are we doing all tournament? Having fun. Don't try to do anything you're not capable of doing.
We begin with the Division IV Baseball Championship. Lutheran Westland, 25-7, first trip to the finals, taking on Bay City All Saints. Bay City opened the scoring in the third on a sac fly. In the fourth, sophomore Kevin Guizdala, the RBI single, and the Cougars increased their lead to 2.
You guys are acting like you lost already. You guys aren't having fun anymore. Have fun, boys. Have fun. Let's win the band.
2008, the Warriors' most successful season. That included a regional final victory over number 1 University Liggett. Bottom half of the fourth, senior Aaron Derminer the shot. Nate Batchard slides home safely in the lead down to 1. And that's how it stayed into the bottom of the 7th. The Warriors threatening, but Saints hurler Adam Pizacek threw a complete game with 5 strikeouts, and that would do it. Bay City All Saints wins their first state crown in 8 years, winning 2-1.
Those performances will be in the history books forever, and we're happy to bring them back into the light. But let's not forget the amazing people that volunteer to teach student athletes the proper way to compete, the love for the game, and endless life lessons. Coaches are the backbone of a program, and without their guidance, we would not see teams compete to their highest potential. Let's dive into 2 stories from some unforgettable role models in our top 2 coaches from 2008.
We're Macomb County bound for our Capital Mortgage Funding Coach of the Week. In girls soccer, Utica Eisenhower over the past few years has become the team to beat in the MAC Red. Their coach is approaching his 50th win while fronting Nike, and his love for the game began over 6,000 miles away. Anthony Polidano explains.
For Eisenhower soccer coach Murdad Nakugar, soccer is a lifelong passion that began halfway around the world as a boy growing up in Iran.
Playing on the street with no shoes, and that's where the love started. And soccer back there is they love soccer.
After coming here as a teenager and playing at Eastern Michigan, Nakugar has dedicated most of his life to teaching the game he loves.
You're gonna have to start thinking before you receive the ball, who is around you.
He's so focused on us and so prepared for the next game that it makes us feel more confident because we know what we're getting ourselves into.
I try to always prepare my girls for everything, and I think to me these are very important things. You need to let them know, what the opponents are all about.
You need to play hard. Do not underestimate the Utica team. They are good.
I mean, even minor things that a lot of coaches don't, pay attention to. Is for us, we spend a lot of time on.
We got the win the first half. What that means, take advantage of the win.
Before game time, he tells us the other team's strategies. He always knows how they play, and he sets us up according to how, if they have good players that we need to watch.
His preparation has paid off, as the varsity team is 47-10-12 in his 4 years at the helm. After a MAC Red title last year, the Eagles are off to an impressive 10-0-1 start this season, outscoring their opponents by a combined score of 39-2.
It's not so much winning or losing part of it. When I see them getting to the next level, it makes me proud. To me, when I see these kids learn even one little thing from me, to me is important.
All right, this week's Capital Mortgage Funding Coach of the Week goes to Eisenhower girls soccer coach Murdad Nakugar. Congratulations, coach.
They're not going to hand you a thing. You got to go out there and take it. And again, nobody can deny the heart of a Trenton Trojan.
And nobody can deny the heart of Coach Michael Turner. With heart, he coached the Trenton Trojans in 8 of their 11 state championships. And with heart, Turner celebrates a special career high.
500 wins is one heck of an accomplishment. I couldn't even imagine doing it since he's been coaching since 69 or 71. He started just 24 years of coaching. It's one heck of an accomplishment.
Trenton is a hockey town with a winning history. Turner and his team feel the pressure and are prepared to deliver.
I pick a team that I feel like comfortable with and can win with, and then have to go out and prove it each year that I was right, we picked the best team possible.
Coach Turner is known for helping his team deliver on the ice, but he makes a difference off the ice also.
He's more of a coach. He actually cares about the kids and actually cares about us, the players, and helps us in life and helps us if we want to move on. He helps us move on.
This season, Coach Turner and the Trojans will fight to hold the #1 spot and possibly bring home another state championship.
We have a big target on our back. We know that teams try and play their best game against us. So whether we're ranked 1 or we're ranked 10, we know what takes place each time we go out on the ice.
Main thing is hard work, just coming every day to practice, working hard, getting a good bond with your teammates and coaches, and just doing the extra thing, the extra work after practice. That's what takes you to the championship.
Coach Turner, for your 500th career win and all your hard work and dedication, you are this week's Coach of the Week. Congratulations.
From all of us here at State Champs, we would like to thank the hardworking coaches that help prepare the young student athletes for their futures. We hope you enjoyed this trip down the 2008 memory lane in this edition of the Yearbook. For more throwbacks and all that is currently happening in Michigan high school athletics, follow State Champs Net on all social media platforms. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Until next time, I'm Daniela Bruce. Thank you all for watching and have a great summer.